Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Trevor and Konner.
What up?
We've got an exciting show today. The first major of the year went down this past weekend. U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship. We'll also have a little Trevor's trivia update, and then Nikko Castro back in the news for completely different things today. But anyways, before we get into all of that, let's take a moment to thank our sponsor of today's episode. Today's episode is brought to you yet again by our friends over at Chiplock. Chiplock's a company focused on throwing more fun into your round by celebrating the good throws and laughing at the bad breaks in a fun competition, all while challenging yourself to reach new goals. Now, since last week, we've all participated in the season-long badges, and we've put some on different bags, which I'm not about to show you the season-long badges. I'm about to show you the game Chiplock, but they also have season-long badges, which are like merit badges that players can compete and challenge themselves to achieve and show off on their bags. It's a Velcro patch. It goes on your bag. There's like round enders.
The bomber badge, the full flight badge, the ace badge. There's one that's really fun called the round killer badge, and that's if you take a +5 or worse on a hole, you have to wear the round killer badge.
Yeah, it is not on any of our
my bag. I'm not kidding.
They're a blast, a ton of fun. But Chiplocked is a way that throughout just the round, you can make your round more interesting. So it comes with all these different chips. It also comes with a little card in here, and then over on the website, you can find a bunch of different. You can find a bunch of different rules for how to use these because there's a bunch of different ways to play. But you have some good chips and bad chips. So like a good chip, you'll get one if you have like a birdie, an eagle, an ace. If you have the rescue ranger chip, if you find someone else's disc.
I love that.
The pured, the closest drive that cleanly goes through the gap because, like some of us might be in a playoff, I don't know, in like a monthly match, and someone might grip lock it into the right woods, get through clean, and end up parked. But that's not pured.
That's not pured.
Different.
No. That was cured.
So Trevor wouldn't have got a.
That's
a
bad throw, good shot.
If that happened, that person wouldn't get a chip lock chip.
For sure.
Then you also have bad chips, which is like bogey, double, triple. We would have been handing those out left and right. Penalty strokes, air ball, closest circle one putt for par that doesn't hit any metal. I mean, this is just a blast.
I love the idea of the rescue ranger because you have like somebody loses a disc and everybody on the card is sprinting around looking for it. That's efficiency right there.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe this is the key to pace of play in the PDGA.
It is. They need chips.
But no, they're a ton of fun. And like I said, there's different ways to score. So you can like just add up your good chips, subtract your bad chips. They can count as strokes. And you can find all of this and more over on their website, which I believe is just chiplocked.com.
I'm going to go ahead and claim it. I'm going to declare it Disc Golf Game of the Year.
It might be.
Disc Golf Game of the Year.
It is an absolute
just game
blast.
Of the year. Better than disc golf.
So it can also help even the playing field between players of various skill levels. It allows everyone to compete. There's 18 unique chips in here. I read some of them. And yeah, they're a ton of fun. Again, you can visit chiplocked.com for more detailed rules, how to play, ways to visit, ways to play, merch, and to actually buy the game or the season badges and join in on the fun that we're having out there on the disc golf course. So thanks again to Chiplocked for sponsoring today's episode. Again, that's Chiplocked, CHIP, locked. It can sound like grip locked if I say it on Grip Lock podcast.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I was confused.
I was also.
Let's get into our.
How else would you spell that?
Well, yeah, I just want to make sure people know I'm saying
Chip
locked. Yeah,
ship locked.
People are like, why are they promoting their podcast as a game?
Let's get into the Patreon question of the week. This one came from Big 5.
Oh, what up?
Big 5, baby.
I actually had someone DM me asking where they found
Sounds
the
like a
Heiser
deal you
Club.
get at Wendy's.
The Big 5.
Big
Yeah.
Five.
$5
So
big
you
bag.
can head over to patreon.com/foundation disc golf if you want to get in on the Heiser Club mailbag. It's our weekly Q&A podcast.
Yeah, you're going to want to do it.
You're going to want to just so you can watch last week's.
It's pretty awesome.
It was one of our longest mailbags
We
of all
were
time.
all red in the face, screaming about, and mainly just discussing in awe, a very personal topic.
Yeah,
It was very personal.
Yes.
I've never...
Cops
you just had to
called.
watch it. You just had to
I
watch it.
Wild.
almost don't want to tell more people to sign up because I'm not sure I want more people to see.
Yeah, I think you just got. If that sounds intriguing to you, not disc golf related at all, then head over to
a lot of
Patreon.
the episode
Furthest
was.
thing from disc golf.
Well, the episode has disc golf
Yeah,
related
yeah,
things. I'm
just
just
that one
saying that
segment, yeah.
segment. Just head over to patreon.com/foundation disc golf. All your questions will be answered over there.
Gone wild.
This came from Big 5. He said, "What disc or discs that you bag what disc or disc do you bag that you thought you never would bag in the past?" So basically, what disc is in your bag currently that you're like, old me would be so surprised that's in my bag?
I would just say Gateway in general. And the thing is that maybe the Wizard I wouldn't be as surprised with because like no matter if you like Gateway or don't like Gateway, everybody respects the Wizard because it's a good disc. There's nothing that you can't like about the Wizard really. But I would say like having like gateway distance drivers in my bag, I would be very confused in the past.
And the shaman. You probably would be.
And the shaman,
if you like, if
I heard that I had a shaman in my bag.
dominating with the shaman last night.
Trevor threw a lot of good shots.
I birdied every time I threw that disc. It was kicking butt.
If previous Konner looked at current Konner's bag and pulled out a con man, shaman man, they'd probably be like, now, Konner, why is your face on a shaman?
Why not a rock?
That is a pretty funny one.
Oh, I get it. You didn't have a choice. Someone this was a joke. Someone stamped your face. You're like, no, yeah, I chose it.
Just like looking back at myself like 2 years into disc golf, if I went to that Konner, I was like, hey, just let you know, in like 6 years, your whole disc golf game is going to be about irony. I'd be like, wait, but like I really care about this. You're like, no, like it's gonna be about irony by then.
Give it up, kid.
You weren't good enough to be good. You just got to be funny enough.
I'm bagging right now a lot of discs I don't think I would have thought of, because like I bag a Quake, and I love the DGA Quake, and that was not on my radar for a very long time.
Let's be honest, we all bag more than just Innova and Discmania, which means we all bagged things that we didn't think we'd ever bag.
We branched out, yeah.
I used to throw a buzz back in my good old days.
He's a buzzard.
Because I didn't like beats, so I wanted to love the rock, but that's how I landed on the MD3.
Gotcha.
So I went through a buzz phase before I got to the MD3.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
The Quake was on my list. The other one on my list is the
Fuse. Me too. Yeah.
The Fuse for me.
Yeah.
My brother used to love the Fuse, and I just never really liked it, and I don't know why. But now I know where I threw it again. I was like, I love this.
Got an interesting hand feel.
Yeah, it does. But once you throw a Comet for long enough,
you're
everything
invincible.
feels good.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
you're pretty immune to that. Should we bring back the People's Buzz thing?
People's Buzz. I'll put it back in my bag.
The Fuse, now the Fuse is the People's Buzz.
It got banned. The problem was it got banned from my bag at the end of last year. I replaced it with the Fuse, and I like the Fuse more.
We've made it to March.
The
so
thing
far,
is,
nobody getting a mold
the
banned.
People's Buzz is a title that is fluid. It's whatever
the People's Buzz is an idea.
It's whatever the turnover disc is in Hunter's bag.
It's a belief in an idea.
V for Vendetta.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever seen that movie?
I saw it a long time
Remember
ago.
the 5th of November, the Gunpowder Trees and Trot or something like that? Plot? Something like that?
I saw
No,
this
sir,
a long
I don't
time
know what you're
ago,
talking about.
Oh, man.
If only.
We used to watch it.
Isn't that right?
We used to. I don't know. We used to watch it every.
The bark on the trees was as soft as the sky.
We used to watch it every November 5th.
That's from Holes.
That was like the thing. But the V was like a. I'm pretty sure he was, because he always spoke in what is the the words all start with the same letter. Alliteration. He always spoke in like alliteration.
That's impressive.
But
that sounds exhausting. I can't think of another word.
I'm pretty sure
that
at the
sounds
end,
exhausting.
because it was around I think it's the French Revolution or something revolution.
So. I think it's the French Revolution.
And at the end, it was basically like he was just like what you just said.
It was just an idea.
Just an idea, like just a movement that people like got behind. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what the People's Buzz is.
That's what the People's Buzz is. Exactly. He's V for Vendetta.
That's actually a really great point.
Like Z for Zorro.
I'm glad I finally know what that movie is, because I feel like I think I'm
the
right. Cover for that. Wow, you know you're in the YouTube game. Whenever I almost called the cover of that movie a thumbnail, but
Natalie
I
Portman
think I
is
saw
in
that
movie.
thumbnail on Netflix.
Yeah.
You guys think that was funny?
That is funny.
I'm just caught up in it, man.
I'm gonna try to. Okay, this is nothing to do with what, but I do want to say figure out the remember, just because I don't know what it said.
I'd like to go.
Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. For there is a reason why gunpowder and treason should never be forgot. There you go.
That's not alliteration, Hunter.
No, it was not.
That was a limerick.
Limerick, maybe. I don't know. He speaks.
just
he
like-
speaks
I
in a
don't know
certain
what
way.
a poem. I don't know what a
It's
limerick
just
is.
like
time.
rhyme. He like rhymes.
USWDGC went down
he
this past
haikus.
weekend. And
The United States Women's Disc Golf Championship.
yes, USWDGC.
Thank you for letting me know. I was not sure.
First major of the year. Big Money Missy is changing her name to Big Major Missy.
Oh,
Because Missy Gannon took it down.
Oh,
Major
okay,
Gannon?
Hunt.
Yeah.
I should say Jim Nance.
we'll call her the better Gannon.
I think she should. I think she should get just an iced out chain that says Big Money or Big Money Missy. Like, how does she not have just a huge chain with that on it?
I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
That would be sick.
That would
Somebody step up to the plate.
Yeah, someone
Discraft,
make that for her.
Bob, Julio.
They do need, they should just run a, Crystal Thrasher, because I think that's what she
They
throws
could
a lot
honestly
of.
stamp just the chain on there.
That's what I'm saying. Crystal Thrasher with an iced out chain says Big Money Missy. Just
That'd be
all,
sick.
All
That'd be
gold
sick. Intellectual
stamp,
property.
all gold
Oh.
stamp with silver in the middle.
I don't think that's how that works.
Do you guys know how much money we've made off of that?
Zero.
So many companies are always like, can we please have it? I'm like,
No,
"Yeah,
it's
for
not about how much
$200."
money we make off of it. It's about how much money other people can't make off of it.
That's
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't make money. You
A penny
take money.
saved is a penny earned. Evelina Salonen came in second, and Val Mandahano came in third. Notice a name missing there. Kristin Tatar was present at this event,
Kristin
played it
was
all
missing.
through.
I don't believe you.
But Big Money Missy does it again, take down her first ever major victory, and earned herself $12,000. So the nickname still fits.
That's a good day.
Because there's a lot of money on the line, and Missy showed up. It's a big moment in her career overall, obviously. She was able to take down her first major by 5 strokes. And realistically, it was just a consistent weekend for her out there. If you look at her stat line, there wasn't one thing that was like, I think she led the field in scramble rate, but there wasn't one thing that was like, oh, that's what it was. Like, no one could catch her because of this, which scrambling was definitely important out there.
I think she was second in strokes gained.
Yeah,
putting.
she was just solid. Like, across the
Yeah.
board, she was in contention on all the stats, basically, which is kind of what you just got to do to win.
You got to do it.
Because realistically, she just picked apart a course that picked apart the rest of the field, basically, when it was all said and done.
Yeah, that course it was out there with a vengeance.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is it's a huge storyline for her career, but I don't think anyone's shocked that she has a major title now.
No.
Like, she's a player that I think this has been something where it's been coming for a while. I think she's won Throw Pink Women's, if I'm not mistaken, or am I
Yes.
just thinking of, yeah, because she
believe.
went Throw Pink Women's and then Disc Golf Champion. So, like,
Yes.
it already feels like she had won a major to a certain extent. She's won 2 tour championships, which also
Yeah.
have a big feel to them. So, like, she's performed
happy
big
for her.
in big moments many a time.
Yeah.
And she just did it again, but this time at a major. So now she is a one-time major champion.
It's pretty funny when, you've won Throw Pink and you've won the 2, like, realistically, tour championship. There are some guys out there that are playing for prestige. A lot of them are. But, like, ultimately, that tournament is probably the one you're feeling. It's tough not to feel pretty good coming home from that one.
Yeah, like
because
30
of the amount
Gs.
of money you're winning.
is
So
nice.
it is pretty funny, like you said, like she has won a lot of the high pressure tournaments. This one is just, it's good to have that title. And you know what? She's getting older. Like, I mean, I'm sure she'll be able to play for a long while still, but it's good to get that over with. Like, okay, I've got the major under my belt.
Yeah.
Anytime you're further into your career, you just don't want to have that fear of like ending as a player that never got the major championship. You know, that's a lot of players. That is a reality for them. Less in disc golf, more in golf. You see that a lot, like really good players that just never won a major. Disc golf, though, as the field gets more competitive, we're going to start seeing like 10 years from now, there'll be guys that are getting towards the retirement age that were really solid, but just never got the major, you know? And that just happens as the field deepens and gets stronger.
Yeah. Now, Evelina also is another storyline out there. She's had a solid start to her year so far with the win at chess.com and everything. She put herself right in the mix, but in the end, it ended up kind of being the same story, which was it was her putting that cost her the tournament. Final round, she had a few rough missed putts, we'll call it. But she made some good ones. It's definitely just a mental block, obviously, out there. But yeah, her putting cost her the tournament. She lost 8 strokes to Missy on the putting green this weekend, according to the strokes gained putting stat, and she lost by 5. That'll do it. She did lead the field, I believe, in the whatchamacallit, strokes gained tee to green stat. She led the field all weekend in that. Like, she's the modern day Katrina Allen.
Yeah.
Where she's just a phenomenal thrower of the disc. She's going to be in contention, and on weekends where her putts fire in on all cylinders,
She's
going to be tough to
Kat,
beat.
though.
Yeah.
Because Kat was a good enough
But
putter.
is she a
that
better thrower?
Probably. I mean, she definitely throws further, and she has a much better sidearm.
Yeah.
I would say that, Kat, even back then, like her putt, because nowadays, Kat nowadays has been struggling, but when like the last couple seasons where Kat was playing pretty well, her putt had gotten actually better. But even in those days where it wasn't great, it was still serviceable. And she didn't have a putt where she spun it a ton, so she wasn't like missing way past the basket. Because like that's legitimately a factor. Like some of the FPO players like Henna and Evelina that struggle, and I understand like it's not just a problem solver to just create a nose down putt that doesn't go past the basket, but like if I got to the end of a tournament and I started counting my 3 putts and I'm like, I can 2 putt, I just can't be 3 putting anymore, I would just start throwing the most floaty nose down putts you've ever seen. Keep that thing near.
Just do the Ricky putt where you go like, what did he always say?
Under the fence, over
under
the fence.
the first fence post, or like over the second, under the third.
That would be a funny that topic. Just like disc golf clinic quotes or like pieces of advice you heard that you tried to attempt as a child and probably hurt you.
Well, some of us didn't play disc golf as children.
I was barely a child, but it. Yeah.
I heard that when I was like a sophomore in college. And I was like, how do I even like that? Doesn't make sense. I still don't understand what he was saying. Like I get it. I get the idea, but I never was able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just basically like
throw a hard putt
low
so
and then
nose down,
pop high, so that then I don't know, he does it better than anybody else. Those putts are glorious.
Gosh dang, he's good.
We should go get whenever we go to his Airbnb, we should go get a clinic. We should have him leave like some notes, like you know how they leave Airbnb notes. He should leave putting tips notes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar. I just played. I've played my first Foundation tag match of the year. Finally made it to one.
Wow.
Good for you.
And I was playing with.
Did you walk away with that one?
Well, I walked away with the best one that was out there, which was 4.
Did you walk away with that good? You won?
I won. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Good.
But the two guys I was playing with, I won't out them, but they had very fast spinny putts, and that was their downfall.
I will out them.
Was like they.
Why won't you out them? You're making me uncomfortable.
Because I'm just talking about their putt having a flaw. I didn't want to like.
Let's hear
That's
it.
fine.
Out them then.
Why?
Because
Out
it's
'em,
more
Hunter.
respectful to out them
it's
than
more
because they know
respectful,
who they are.
Yeah.
If they're listening, yeah,
But
but they'd probably rather me not be like, yeah,
No, because nobody
nobody
else knows who they are. Is what I'm saying. Like so, like you're only doing this. To
I
them
don't
right
understand why I'm protecting them
now. From who?
No, dude.
themselves.
They're foundation employees. Don't get protection.
Okay, anyways, they had a very spinny fast putt, so like if they missed a putt, they had like a 25-foot comebacker. And I was like, y'all haven't been playing this game long enough to learn.
They're not scared enough.
Yeah, you all haven't played this
I
game
get
long
it.
enough to learn. You take spin and speed
You
off
gotta
that
play.
putt.
You got to play this game the coward's way.
So when you
Disc golf
miss,
is all
you got a
about
5-footer.
Yeah, disc golf is all about learning in your old age of disc golf how to avoid having to
Looking
work harder
stupid.
and missing again.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be just going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, if you miss a putt, you better just have a 5-foot tap in. Like, just tap your in and get off the hole.
Yeah, man. Hit that thing right into the pole.
Yeah, you need to just throw lock breakers.
Do you guys remember in the Incredibles movie? Bear with me.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Whenever
This is why this show's called Grip Locked, right here.
I
Go
believe
ahead.
it was at the end of the movie, whenever Dash is like he's like running track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
they're
But
like,
he-
go, go, go.
He
No,
obviously
slow
is
down.
like a superhero, so
Yeah.
like he can run fast. Yeah, so he was like having to slow down so he didn't look like too much. I think that's what's happening with Kristin right now.
Parents are like, no, second place. And he's like,
Yeah.
look, I love that.
I think it's what's happening with Kristin right now.
Yeah.
I think that she is possibly.
so.
I think that she is possibly someone who is just too like she might be AI that was created for FPO disc golf, and then now she's realizing people are starting to catch on that I'm not human,
that's a
and so
theory.
she had to like bring it back a little bit. I think she went a little too far back this week, but I think that's what's happening.
Okay.
Interesting take there.
That is a big-
Kristin Starr did lose her first major since Champions Cup of 2022.
It's been a long time. That is
She
wild
didn't play
stat.
European Open in 2022.
Yeah.
But she won Worlds 2022 and then all of them of 2023.
That's wild.
And then, lost this weekend. She did. So she had some neck and back pain at the end of Open at Austin, according to her Instagram. And then she was dealing with similar, like some fatigue, neck, back pain. And then she had a swollen ankle on the final day out here. But ended up losing by 10 strokes. 10 strokes when it was all said and done across
Dang, it
4
sounds
rounds.
like she was kind of going through it.
Yeah.
There was a long list of injury complaints, and I'm not going to say they're unwarranted. I'm just saying there was one.
Yeah.
Dang.
A big storyline this weekend, obviously other than Kristin losing and Missy winning, was there was just some names on here that just shocked me with their underperformance in relation to like names that had they been in the top 3, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now be careful.
Or like at least
be
top
I would
5.
say be careful which names you're about to read.
Well, no, I'm just going to go down the list and I'm just going to say players and then how far they finished outside the lead.
Okay.
Because, like, this speaks both to Missy's good performance and I think how tough the course was. And some of them must have given up. Let's just call it what it is.
Let's call it what it is.
First off, Ella Hansen, 12 strokes. Lost by 12 strokes.
Okay.
That's not that bad. Holland Handley lost by 14.
Ooh, okay.
Henna Blomers lost by 15.
Okay.
Let me go down a little. Cat Merch lost by 23. If I'm doing math right, yeah. Now Paige Pierce, Katrina Allen. It was a old school, just like we used to see all the time, dog fight for 28th place. They lost by 29 and 30 respectively.
Oh my god.
But there was a third player in that dog fight. A former U.S. women's
A
champ,
third dog.
Haley King, also lost by 30 this weekend.
Crazy.
She's
injured.
Holly Finley was in the mix.
Who are all the people that were ahead of them?
Holly Finley was in the mix some last year.
Steen, bro.
Lost by 35. Allie Smith, we were just questioned if she was going to be in the top 10. Someone was asking our opinion on that, and we were like, I don't know, maybe.
No, I said
Could
no.
be close. We all said no, but I was thinking
I said it pretty confidently.
that's a kind of a good line. She lost by 39.
Yeah.
Paige Shue coming back, obviously former world champ, but she's on the up and up. Lost by 42.
I want to know what this course is doing to these.
I don't know what's going on.
Like, what the heck?
Emily Beach last year at D-Glow, I think, was like almost won the thing. She lost by 52.
That's a lot of strokes.
Yeah,
It is
that's
a
what I'm saying.
lot
It's
of
like
strokes.
it didn't make sense to me because like these women have been in contention. It's not like they just like have a flash in the pan.
52
Like
is a lot.
like they've been in
That's
contention.
a
like
lot of strokes.
That's a lot of
consistently.
numbers.
That's a whole round.
Yeah.
A lot of numbers.
Now Kona Montgomery, this is her first event back.
Yeah, that's
from
a really
cancer.
good point, Con. That's a really good point. When you lose by 52, the leader
You
could
just
almost
didn't play
play an
around.
entire another round
Yeah.
and have less total strokes.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Is that right? Am I saying that right?
You're
Am I saying that
close.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, on this course, people
pretty
were shooting
close.
like the hottest round. I think was a 58.
Yeah. But like,
That's even closer than I thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
that adds up.
Um.
Just making sure I didn't say anything crazy.
It's close.
That's wild.
It's close enough to note.
Yeah. Kona didn't have the weekend she would have liked out there, but probably that's also probably not the true statement because she played disc golf and she finished a tournament, which is important because, I mean, this was her first tournament back since recovering from
cancer
surgery
diagnosis.
from, I believe it was thyroid cancer,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. So this was her first event back.
That's
so
awesome.
it probably just felt great just to
I'm sure it did.
be out
Yeah.
there playing again. I think, and it also worked out well because since it was U.S. Women's, she was able to have her husband Colton like on her bag all
Yeah,
weekend.
that's cool.
So
See Monty.
we're gonna put a W in the Kona column
Yeah, that
because
sounds
she's
good.
back.
W.
So yeah, but Missy Gannon took it down. Valerie Mandahano, like I said, came in third. Owen Scoggins was out of it early, made her way back into fourth. There was actually some points during that final round where it looked like she might have been in contention, but then she finished 4-7 on 17-18 to bring her back down.
Yeah, that was awesome for my top three.
Yeah, it was awesome for my top three. Trevor, if you missed the preview show, Trevor talked me out of having Owen in my top three, and I put Evelina in.
I talked you out of Own because I wanted to pick Own, but if you would have taken Own, then I was trying to also talk myself into somebody else.
Me, Trevor, and Joe Henderson, who does the preview show with us, all had the exact same top three in the exact same order going into the show. So it was like, prediction-wise, no one's gaining points on anyone, no matter what happens.
It became a chess match.
And then Trevor starts like talking about like how Owen's game isn't going to
It's more
line
like
up
a
with this
checkers
course. And he like, as he was
Thank
talking,
you.
I was sitting there and I was like, he's so right. He's
Dude,
so
I am
right.
the
And so I
man.
pulled Owen out and I put Evelina in, and I put Evelina into second, which she took second. So
you are welcome.
Trevor's
Hines.
thank
so
you,
smart.
Trev.
For those of you that can't see, they're shaking hands.
Our hands have been shook.
Well,
They
even
have
our
been
viewers
shook.
couldn't see. You did it behind the computer.
That's
Interesting
true.
choice.
That's how we like to do it.
Oh, that's just that way in case
Behind the
people thought
computer.
like we
behind
did.
the paywall.
They don't know if we actually shook hands or not. Could have just been
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
emotion.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
you may.
sir.
It's now a good. It doesn't matter. If you guys were like playing in an event, okay, like a pro tour event, it doesn't happen very often. Okay, this is like a meaningful one.
Okay.
Okay, the most meaningful one of your life. Okay, who is it that you would want on your bag? I was thinking about it, and I was like,
Oh,
that's
I'm definitely Hunt's on my bag for sure. He knows
Yeah.
my bag the best.
that makes
I don't know if
sense.
that'd be a good idea for
I
your
was just
game.
thinking about like what would be like
But you know my bag
most
the
I
best.
know
fun.
your bag
because
but
like I
we
know
always,
I'm not gonna do well, but like what would be like what would like do the best for me mood wise and everything. And I was like, that's
Well-
cool how people have like their significant other on the bag. That's cool.
No, I wouldn't
But
do
then
that.
I was like thinking, like realistically, if I had my
Liz
wife
would
on the
trash
bag,
talk me.
well, my problem is that I don't have to act like I'm in a good mood around my wife, which means that like if somebody else was on the bag, I'd be like joking and be like, yeah, like I'm totally fine, like I'm not falling apart. And then, but if my wife was on the bag, I would come back and she would just hear like I wouldn't be able to hold it together. I'd be like, I suck. I hate myself right now.
For when I don't remember who caddied for me, but during collegiate nationals the first year I made the like finals cut.
Yeah, whoever that was, you fire them.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I did not play good to start, but
Hunter Thomas roller.
yeah, forehand roller. Hey, I ended up coming back into, I think I finished like 13th or something that year. But
American second team.
I wanted, like, when it was like finishing up, my dad was the person who I wanted to like go talk to after. So like if it's a moment, because like the same thing when
my dad used to caddy for me when I was playing junior tournaments.
I wouldn't want my dad to caddy for me because like he wouldn't have any advice disc golf wise. But like if it's like guaranteed you're going to do good in this event, no matter who caddies for you, he's the one I'd want on my bag as far as like just like be there with me. But if it's like I need someone to help me do good, probably Trevor. Yeah. Brody would be an awful idea.
You and I are the only ones that could talk each other out of a bad decision because we're the only ones we would trust to know what we're doing better than ourselves.
Because Brody,
anybody else, we could just be like, you don't even know my bag.
Brody would just inject doubt into my mind, and then I would be sitting there just
you
trying to
roast
prove.
you.
I'd be trying to prove Brody wrong with my shot, and then when I mess up, Brody's be like, I told you I was gonna have it.
I definitely need vibes on the bag. That's really what's gonna make me play the best is just vibes. I
don't know because you had Robbie on your bag for break 86.
Yeah, he is the epitome.
And he was
of
the
vibes.
epitome of vibes, and you did not do it. And then you had me, who's the epitome of. I was just telling you what you had to do.
But I'm just thinking.
Screw vibes.
I know, but I'm thinking about.
You need somebody who has good vibes, but is willing to.
Pressure because I'm thinking about like whenever I play like with friends, I play like. I've played way better, but that's because there's no pressure on the round. Yeah.
You need somebody who has vibes when things are going good is like gassing you up, but when things are going bad, will smack you in the face.
Well, because here's the thing. I would want you guys on my bag, but I can't choose you guys because I can't have two people.
Put one of us on the bag and give up the other one of us immediate pass.
There we go.
That's what I'm doing. I'll just whisper.
But that's what I would realistically do because if I couldn't choose both of you, I wouldn't choose either of you, and then I would choose Brody. Because the thing is with Brody is that if I throw one shot that earns his respect, I'm on cloud 9. However, if I disappoint him, I will fall apart.
You know who my next pick would be is Clayton.
Clayton's not a bad idea.
Because he's a smart golfer.
He is.
He plays really smart golf.
He is smart.
But he would also be like, yeah, we just had to get ourselves to 40 feet and you got to putt.
Yeah,
like,
I feel
Clayton,
like
man.
We'd have to adjust
I got to be within 5 feet.
Yeah, I feel like you
we
have
to adjust his parameters
play.
for what is an actual chance at making.
You know what? I've got a question for all of you listeners. Hopefully he's okay with that.
That's who you were talking about with the weekly.
It was not
missing the putts, wasn't it?
Clayton would not miss a putt. So Clayton, he's our local. He's the best foundation employee. It's fair to say that. There's several that are better
at disc golf.
I would say.
Yeah. Thank you.
He's the best foundation.
He's the best foundation employee
general.
at disc golf.
He's honestly, we call him the pride of Lynchburg.
Because to be clear, there are several foundation employees that are better than any of us in videos at disc golf.
Most of them.
But Clayton's better than them by just rating wise, and he's going to beat them.
The best.
He just crossed 1,000 rated. That was a big moment for Clayton.
Good job,
Clayton's
Clayton.
career. He's
Welcome to our segment. We love Clayton.
Is one of the best putters I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
anyways, all of that to say that he is going to be playing Worlds this year in Lynchburg.
Mm-hmm.
In foundation,
is he the highest rated Lynchburg player?
Gotta be, yeah, because he's one of the highest rated Virginia players.
That's what I'm saying. Who would be better?
But he's not. He wouldn't claim Virginia because he's from North Carolina. But
I mean, he lives here.
Yeah.
Well, Simon still claims Germany.
That's true.
Does he? Still?
Actually, I don't know if he does.
I don't think
he did for a long time at least.
Yeah, I think now he's Massachusetts.
Anyways, Foundation's sponsoring Jonah. Jonah might play Worlds too. Who knows? Foundation sponsoring Clayton playing Worlds, and we're gonna make some content around it. So all that to say, comment down below what you want to see. Idea number one that's definitely happening is Trevor and I are gonna bogey bro battle Clayton by himself at New London Longs because we were getting a feeler of his scores, and basically
we're gonna put him through the ringer.
If he plays solid, it'll be very competitive. If he plays good, he will beat us. If he plays bad, we will beat him. So it should be a good video.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, it should be a good video.
I think you just explained disc golf.
No, because like there's some people that like if you play in double, like if you play singles against doubles, there's just no chance. Like even if they play good, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
But anyways, comment down below what else you want to see out of that.
Do you want to see me disguise myself as Clayton for the final round and just play in his spot?
That'd be funny. He's like on like fourth card, and Trevor just walks up with like the mustache when we pranked Trevor. If y'all have, or we pranked Konner. If y'all haven't seen that video on Foundation Nation, you're missing out. When we, yeah, dude, you freaking.
We put him on a billboard.
We put him on a billboard. Trevor
billboard?
ordered a Charlie Cold Foam from Dunkin' with an accent.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
We did a lot of crazy things that day.
It was a good day. All right, it's time for the fan favorite segment.
We're not going to talk more about Kristin.
I met a cat.
Do you have more to say about Kristin?
I don't know. I thought we'd talk a little more about it just because. I don't know.
I just didn't want to steal the spotlight from Missy by talking about how Kristin underperformed and then talk about that longer than how Missy
Trevor,
performed.
remember I gave my whole Incredibles analogy? I think that pretty much sums it up.
I just want to say a few things.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow, I'm surprised you have more to say after my
a few
analogy.
things. Because I know a lot of people are probably it's time for them to start asking questions about Kristin Starr, and I just want to say this: this season she started out win, loss. Last season she started out win, loss.
Wow.
She then proceeded to win the next 3 events. So I think when it comes to the FPO season, just the way that field is just so sporadic right now. I mean, literally the way the scores fluctuate week to week is impossible to predict. You have to digest it as a whole. Week to week, you are going to see even a player as good as Kristin do things wildly inconsistent. And MPO players do this too. It's just because there's so less players at the top, we fixate more on them. A guy like a good MPO player, let's say I need a good example, Ezra Aderhold. Or I need somebody who's more consistent at the top. James Proctor's a good example. He could take 35th one week, and it's a lot. We might not notice it as much, even though he's consistently like a top 15 guy. But in FPO, like that's why I say this. It's because they're under a microscope because there's like a handful of players that we're really looking at every week. Mm-hmm. So going week to week, it can be very difficult or very easy to be like, what's going on? Like what's going on? You know, and we do that too because we're a knee-jerk reaction podcast. But I still think that by the end of the season, we're going to look back and be like, yeah, Kristin won 6, 7, 8 times, and same goes as normal. I'm not ready to hit the panic button.
Only difference between last year and this year is one of those 2 events wasn't major.
Is she? It's true, but I don't think it matters. And also, well, it does a little bit, but
majors have 4 rounds.
Yeah. But a bad weekend is a bad weekend. You know, even with 4 rounds, like if you just don't have it. Here's what I have to ask you: is she hurt or is she injured?
I refuse to answer that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give medical advice on the podcast.
I'm going to say hurt.
Before we get to,
she's hurt.
There you go.
It doesn't sound like an injury. It sounds like hurt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. The podcast.
I don't think that's bad though, right?
No.
Better than injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for Trevor's trivia. Before we get to that, I want to tell you about our text deals. So we're thrilled to introduce exclusive weekly text deals. They offer incredible discounts on your favorite discs, merch, and accessories. You can get ready to score amazing savings and elevate your collection each week. Our team handpicks from our inventory or places a specific order to find the best deal that we can possibly offer, and we text you a limited time offer on the hand-selected item. You text us back with how many of the disc/item you want, and boom, your order's in. It's just that easy. So if you're on the phone, click the link in the description down below, or you can text the word JOIN to 1-833-255-8270. Again, that's text the word JOIN to 1-833-255-8270, and you will get your first text deal on Wednesday. Actually, there's a welcome offer for a sick deal on these hats I'm wearing, so if you want to get in on that. But yeah, check the link in the description or text JOIN to 1-833-255-8270.
Excellent. Okay, today we're going to be looking at another masterclass quiz from the user Reddit IsaacSam98. He's done 4 of these. We only did 1 of them. We're not going to do all the questions because some of them are pretty easy, but some of them are fun. So we're going to go through and try to do them, and we will do this. You guys can work together.
Yes.
See if you can get them. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions.
I'm so good at group projects. I just like sit back and encourage everybody.
Okay. This Nate Sexton signature disc was most well known for its EcoStar version prior to the addition of his signature.
The X-Cal? Yeah.
That's correct.
We're sick, dude.
You are
that Innova history.
You are given the letters O, R, and C. How many valid Innova discs names could you construct without using any of the letters more than once?
Okay, so
without using any letters more than one, like
Correct.
in that word, or you just use it once and then it's done.
You can't use any of the letters more than once.
That doesn't.
I would
okay,
say in
but
the
you
word
need to
because
explain
we couldn't say
That's only 3 disc names if you can't use it more than once.
Yeah, then that's probably it.
Or is it 2?
Okay, well
You can only use the letters O, R, and C.
Yes. That's the question, guys.
Okay, so we just have to think of one that only has an O in it without an R or C.
No. It's composed only of those letters. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that.
Oh, okay. So we.
But
have
how
the
can
orc,
you only use it once?
Because we have
so
the
you
orc,
used
we have the
that used
crow.
all 3. Now we just used them all.
We have the
For
crow.
each disc, you can
Yeah.
use them once.
Oh,
But
orc, crow,
orc and crow, and then the rock.
Corvette.
No.
No, just those 3 letters.
Connor
so
just
orc,
got
crow,
them.
rock.
Orc, crow, and rock.
I still don't understand.
It's
this question.
just those 3 letters.
Okay.
They're used once.
We got them. We're
Yeah,
working
that's-
together. I don't know why you're yelling at me.
I only asked it. I knew you would get orc and rock. I was curious to see if you'd remember crow because I think I could have seen myself forgetting that.
Give me that end of a history, baby.
It's also
still that question. There has to be a better way to word
you
that
are
question.
given the letters O, R, and C.
Yes.
How many valid end of a disc names could you construct without using any of the letters more than once? Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
Like, that doesn't. Like,
it
you
is
can interpret
confusing,
that
but
so
we
many different
eventually got
ways.
there. We eventually got there. It's okay.
you got it though. You're the best. Okay, next question. Considered by many. Listen, I'm not Isaac Sam.
Isaac, dude.
Considered by many to be the
Write a
first
better
modern
question.
fairway driver made in a premium plastic, this Discraft disc paved the way for all modern drivers.
Is it the Cyclone?
Premium. Have you made a
Not-
premium
yeah, that would not be
plastic?
premium
First made in a premium plastic. It's a fairway driver.
Yeah.
And Discraft.
Yeah, do they have those?
I mean, back in the day, Doss was just throwing Predators all over the place.
Yeah.
But like
that's-
that doesn't feel like by that time
The
they were champ-
Avenger. It could low-key be the Avenger.
Oh, I like that. Do I like it a lot though?
It could be because I remember him throwing the Avenger too, and it was
But
like
the
only
problem
fairway
is by
driver
the
they
time
had.
Doss was a competitive champ, T-Birds have been around for ages.
Yeah, but
Like it has to be before a champ T-Bird. It has to be before champ plastic.
Does
Z
it have
plastic
to-
was around before champ.
does it have to be?
Well, why? I mean, CE T-Birds were premium plastic.
I think technically they probably would have considered even X plastic a premium plastic when it came out.
I think it could be a Cyclone.
But what if it's like the Marauder or something?
The Marauder's not a fairway driver.
Okay, let's go Cyclone.
This guy's
That's
a
fine.
historian. It is a cyclone. I took out the words weather inspired because that would have
Yeah.
made it a little too easy. Okay.
No, so you're making it harder on us.
I'm killing it right now.
Name 2. This is another question I'm modifying. Name 2 players besides Ken Climo that have their own run of T-Birds or have had their own run of T-Birds.
KJ Nybo.
Well, what does he mean own run? Like signature series counts? Like the Swirl Star, KJ Nybo, and the like Jen Allen and Owen Scoggins, I think, had a T-Bird.
Let's just say
Let's
if
say
their
2
name was on
MPO
it.
players. I'm looking for one other MPO
So
player.
KJ Nybo.
There's a lot.
Steve
though.
and-
Brinster then.
There you go. That's
There
what
we
I was
go.
But
looking
also
for.
AJ, Avery Jenkins,
True. Avery Jenkins
if we're counting that.
That is true.
Yeah. No, that would count as well.
There's more.
There's been a lot of people who have their name in the T-Bird. The T-Bird?
The T's Bird.
That's funny. Okay.
Mr. T's Bird.
This former Prodigy player's greatest achievement was winning the 2011 Brent Hambrick, or maybe it was his performance at 2018 Worlds. Either way, he seems to have a pretty good position in disc golf now.
Jeremy Colling. I'm just kidding. They would have mentioned the fake USCGC.
Yeah. 2011 Brent Hambrick, man, that's a tournament. And then
pretty
he
great
performed
position in
well
disc
at
golf now.
2018 Worlds,
Let's see
and
what
he has
that
a
little clever thing has to do with.
great position at disc golf now. Former Prodigy player.
Okay, let's think of former Prodigy players. So we got Yuli. We got.
Maybe it's Caleb, but it's a former Prodigy player.
Does it say
Former's
that?
in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
2011 Brent Hambrick Memorial.
Is it an MPO player? Are we allowed to ask that?
Mm-mm. You're not allowed to ask that. It could be both.
Okay. So it could
But
also
then
be,
you read the question again. Read just the last part.
Either way, he seems to have a pretty
Yeah,
good position in disc golf now.
Okay, so Matteo,
But
but
Mattio's had better performances
Yeah.
since then. MVP
And won
Open.
MVP.
I'm just trying to think of former Prodigy players.
Just Brent Hambrick and then 2018 Worlds were the two like best performances this person had. And Brent Hambrick was an NT back in the day, so it's not like they had like a bad performance there. But it's just
who
like
had the best performance.
2011.
2018 Worlds was that
That's the year
Barsby?
Barsby won. Yeah,
Was Barsby on Prodigy?
he's also, but he would, but he's
Yeah, he's one. Other
he's one
things.
other than that. And also, I don't think he was on Prodigy.
I don't think he was on Prodigy. I think he's always been on.
I don't think
Innova.
he ever left Innova.
I think he might have low-key been on something else like a long time ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Who else was on Prodigy?
Well, Millennium, I guess would be it.
Stumped him finally. Took a while.
Yeah, we got stumped. We're gonna need a stump
2011
grinder.
Brent Hambrick Memorial. Who was dominating?
I don't
in
even
2011?
know what that is.
You don't remember the Brent Hambrick
I
Memorial?
do not. I do
Konner,
not.
dude.
Don't Konner, dude, me.
You got to brush up on your Brent.
Who would have been playing back
You guys need to make a guess. This is ridiculous. This is getting out of hand. I'll
2011, they weren't on Prodigy yet. Surely. Because Prodigy wasn't around 2011.
Correct.
Who were people that are on Prodigy? Let's just name them and see which ones feel good. I've been trying
Everyone
to
and
name
their
them, but I
mom
haven't
was on
gotten it.
Prodigy.
I know.
Ricky Wysocki, Big Germ, Paul Ulibarri, Chris Dickerson. But like Dickerson's had better. He won Champions Cup.
What do they mean by position in disc golf now?
I mean, it could be.
That's why I feel
sneaky Nico LaCastro.
Does he?
But
have a good
he won
position?
He won USDGC.
Yeah.
Brent Hambrick could be in their best performance. It's just tragic.
I'm really surprised you haven't locked in on this yet.
Yeah, because you're looking at it.
The only reason
No,
why
because you've already said the name multiple times.
it's gotta be Jeremy Colling because
then this question's a lie if it's Jeremy
I
Coley.
know, but he's a he's
I'm
got a
really
big
surprised.
position in disc
What?
golf now. I don't know. Who is it, Hunter? Is it Kale?
2011, Brent Hambrick.
I'm surprised.
I don't like that Trevor's laughing at us.
I'm honestly surprised.
Trevor's just being derogatory.
No, I really
prejudice
am.
is showing.
He's frankly he's being crass.
I really am surprised.
Is it Yuli? It's got to be Ulibarri because he hasn't won anything else since. But did he even win 2011 Brent Hambrick? He
Let's
had
just
to
say
have.
Yuli.
It has to
It
be
is Yuli.
Okay.
Yeah. I just thought because I thought of the names you listed, like he was the only one that fit that bill.
Yeah, you're
He's
right.
But like, what
You're
position does he have in disc golf right now? He's still a player.
I mean, he's a
like a team manager,
podcaster and team
on
captain.
They said
I don't like how Isaac writes questions. I'm just.
I edited the question because he said he has a pretty good position
Never
at
mind.
Discraft now.
I
But that
don't-
would have gave it away.
I don't like
Yeah,
the way
that
Trevor
would've
edits
definitely
questions.
I made the question difficult where you would
that makes
instantly
sense.
got it.
But that's what makes it make no sense.
A pretty good
was that part.
position at Discraft.
It still makes sense because if you know the 2011 Brent Hambrick winner, you know, and it's a former Prodigy player, I narrowed it down considerably. You said Yuli, the very first name you threw out was
That's
the
true.
correct
But
answer.
but the reason I didn't zero in on him is because he had pretty good position in disc golf now. When like Yuli is just still a player.
No, he's not. He's also on Jomez and also is lined up for like a team manager spot.
I was just thinking
and makes
of
a ton of money off of Captain's
Shoestrick.
Raptors.
Shoestrick is no longer a player. He's a sales guy. I was trying to find like that person who's like now they have a good position in disc golf.
He has an awesome position in disc golf. He's
Well, we
also
did
on Tour
eventually
Life.
find
He's
him.
got it. He's
I
everywhere.
was just saying.
He's on the
Still a
second
player.
biggest disc golf podcast.
Yeah, listen, Konner threw out the name immediately.
We got it right, so I don't know why you're yelling at us. I just don't like how Isaac writes questions. They don't make sense to me.
Well, it's, Isaac, like I said, wasn't verbatim. Okay, considered the first. You go off on people. Considered the first true member of Team Discraft, this player was unable to win a world title, but he did finish second twice with Team Discraft in the 90s.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we're
That's
I don't
verbatim.
know old people that were on Discraft.
It's probably that dude who did all the clinics.
Yeah.
That
Remember
one
that?
guy with the long polos.
Who was finishing second a bunch in the 90s?
A lot of people. Climate was dominating. Barry Schultz came second a bunch.
Discraft guy.
I don't know anybody.
Did do a lot of clinics.
I just don't know that guy's name.
Well, it's not. You know this guy's name. Still does a lot of clinics.
Oh, was it Scott Stokely?
Scott Stokely.
Scott Stokely.
I don't even remember him being on Discraft.
I don't remember.
Not the
Yeah.
guy I was thinking of.
Yeah,
He's been playing for so long.
Who's the guy who
Is
does
he
all
the
the
longest-
Discraft? Like the Discraft clinic guy.
Yeah, you're talking
I
about.
can't remember his name. But he did the,
Exactly.
Yeah, but
That's
he
what I'm
was
thinking
not.
of.
He was not that. He was not like a.
He did the
competitive
distance
guy back in
clinic
the
where
day.
it was like uphill and had the numbers on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former racquetball
I
player.
love that we all remember
his
that.
name?
Yeah, I just don't know his name.
I forget his name right now.
Scott Stokely, he has to be the longest, like the person that has been playing on the pro tour for the longest ever, right?
Yeah,
Probably,
he has
yeah.
the most longevity.
I mean,
Well, he's
his-
taken. He obviously
But he
took a
took so
hiatus.
long off.
Yeah, you could argue Barry Schultz.
What
is
did he
up
do
there.
during his time off?
Didn't play disc golf.
He was going through a rough time. Read the book.
I need to read the book.
This pro was more known for her time with Innova in the 2000s, but her first world titles came with Discraft in the 90s.
Juliana Korver.
I was literally
That's
just
correct.
about to say Juliana Korver.
Final question. Besides Paul Macbeth and Nate Dawes, who was the last Discraft sponsored pro to win a world championship?
Eric McCabe, 2010.
Also correct.
Wow,
Very good.
Hunter,
That was very
whip that one
snappy.
out.
There you go.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. Only because I did well on a few of them. If I didn't, I'd be upset.
You're the best.
I'm cool.
You're the best around.
I do know.
I
that we
still don't understand how that crow question was worded.
It wasn't worded great.
I've just been trying to think through it the whole time, and it's just getting me more and more riled
No,
up.
it wasn't. It was worded
wasn't
in a way
worded
that you
great.
could have assumed you got other letters. Because
Yeah.
I don't think it said using exclusively
That's why I
those
thought
letters.
at
Well, no,
first.
and it said you could only use each letter once.
Well,
So, like,
but
you
it
could also
meant
take
per,
that
it
as,
meant
like-
per word. But yeah,
I know what it meant now that I know the answer.
it's okay.
It's
okay.
It just
I know.
It got me fired up.
Isaac,
Okay,
you
it's
heard.
all right.
I don't
Hunter.
like
just
losing, and I really don't like losing when it's something outside of your control.
You didn't lose it.
Isaac,
though.
your
But we
punishment.
could have easily.
Your
You got
punishment,
it.
Isaac, is you have to join the mailbag and then comment for the mailbag question of the week. You have to comment and just say,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, Hunter."
Hunter is gonna hit you.
No, I would never.
He's mad.
I've never.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never hit anyone ever in my life.
Yeah. Right, dude.
Yeah,
Tell him.
not that we're allowed to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You didn't
Well, okay,
hit
I've
us.
slapped y'all on camera
Yeah.
for the
I've never hit anybody
for the
ever.
slap challenge. But I'm saying like I've never like
Somebody
got
roll the-
upset and like pushed someone got into a fight.
Yeah,
That
you never.
is
Yeah, you've never
not-
done that.
not that I've
but-
seen.
Like it's never happened in my life.
Yeah, you've never done anything
So
like
like
that.
I would not hit Isaac.
I would argue you've done more extreme thing, but
I've never like got up from my desk and stormed went to Kroger or anything.
yeah, that's very violent.
Guys, I have a question. What has been the most recent discovery that you've made about your game? And this could be like a little thing that you adjusted, and then you're like, wow, that makes me throw this better. Or a little thing that you adjusted, and you're like, wow, that makes my putt way spinnier, or something like that.
I haven't made any discoveries like that in a long time. Man.
Yeah.
Have you seen me play? I'm
It's
getting
probably
worse.
been 3 or 4 years since I've made like an aha discovery. Now,
But even like a swing thought, you're like, oh, okay.
I don't have swing thoughts.
Okay.
My brain's dead when I'm on
This
the tee.
question's falling apart.
I genuinely have no swing.
The problem
thoughts.
is that I know to get better at disc golf, you have to get worse.
Can't
and
do it.
I'm not
I
willing
gotta be
to
in
do
a
that.
video.
But
3
has there
times a
been
week.
like a adjustment that you've made on the course, and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's gonna help me.
I
this
changed my
round.
forehand grip.
There we
and
go.
It was awful. And went right
Mikey
back.
asked about it last night.
It went right back. Everything was coming out nose up. I was just throwing nose up hyzers. And I was like, this is terrible. I went straight back. That's the only thing I've adjusted.
That's usually what happens. Is I'll hear something, think it's interesting, try it once, be like, oh yeah, I would have to practice for hours to get this into my game, and then I don't.
Now
do it
golf had a breakthrough this weekend,
anymore. That's true. He
in
did
my
have a
swing
golf-
thoughts.
He did have a breakthrough this
but
weekend.
that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for.
Well,
But it was big for me.
Big
now
golf.
I feel weird just bringing up a question and then me being the only one that answers.
Hey, go
it.
ahead.
Basically, I showed up last night and I immediately just took a shaman out of my bag and threw it in the field. And for some reason, this particular time that I threw, I like last second on my reach back just like punched a little bit harder and just like had that like last second punch out and then throw, because I usually get out.
That's
but
the
it's just
slingshot,
slower.
brother.
And I just did. I don't know why. I just did it on my
Welcome
first
to the
throw.
slingshot.
And then I threw it, and then it was such a spinny throw, and
Yeah.
it flew so well, and I was like,
Quick hit, man.
huh, I guess that's gonna be my day today. And so I did that the whole round, and I missed very few lines, and my discs always flew really well. It was like one of my best rounds. It just went really well.
There you go.
And also, whenever I putted, I practice putted as well. I just brought my putter further back to get like more power, and then also threw like the best spinniest putts I've ever thrown too. I can't wait. It went really well that round, and I can't wait for my next round whenever I throw a really spinny putt 5 feet right of the basket.
I bogeyed a 250-foot wide open hole because I grip locked a jump putt into a tree.
What was your swing thought?
My swing thought was, I hope I don't grip lock this into a tree. There might be the correlation there, you guys.
Well, I just thought it was fun to like think about those little notes that we make.
Konner,
on the
dude,
course
anytime
sometimes.
you make a discovery in your game, I'm
Yeah.
going to put this out here right now. I want you to talk about it on this podcast because I want to hear about it. And
But just don't
and
expect it
Connor's-
to come from.
we're dead.
dead.
I'm
We
not
are
upset at
dead
you guys.
pieces of mush.
I'm not upset at you
Our
guys.
disc golf games, man, are kaput.
I just felt like it was gonna look really silly if I was like, "You guys ever feel like this?" And they're like, "Well, I do."
No, dude. And here's the thing: your putt on 18 yesterday was inspiring. The way you
Thanks, man.
poured that into the basket.
That's what I'm saying.
it was like a
I made
a
that
pitcher
little
of
adjustment,
water just pouring
and then
into
all of
the
a sudden
basket.
my putt just looked really nice and spinny. But
When you say you're
tomorrow-
bringing it farther back, what do you mean? Where were
mean,
you
like,
bringing it before?
He goes
I think-
into his stomach now, like through
no,
his
I
abdomen.
was I suck in my stomach.
Yeah, he sucks.
And I actually
Dude,
grip
that
the
would be
disc with my belly button.
Wait, is that why Shasta Chris did the exhale
more
thing?
to this,
Maybe.
Just I'm like turning my body more and bring it more to the side of me.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sounds like a Kona Panis problem.
No, I'm just saying you're gonna
The
start
throw
pulling
putt.
them.
Well, I was pulling them before.
That is
was
true.
the
Have you thought about because you're pulling on the line to the side of you?
No, I was pulling them by bringing down like straight, and it was just my wrist was breaking.
So you're like full spin putting now.
No,
Yes.
no, because what it's
Konner just
doing
spin putting
is I'm
now.
just getting more.
he's not.
No, I was just getting more spin with my arm to where my wrist could just guide. While before, whenever I was guiding with my arm, I had to try to spin it with my wrist, which means I was breaking my wrist too much and missing it right. I'm not going to overthink it because that's whenever it gets really dangerous. I just know I did that
I think right
and
after
it felt
this,
good.
Right after this, let's go outside and you putt 10.
I did that and it felt good, and I was like, well, my other putt feels like crap. I guess I'll do this. It's a very small adjustment. I just bring the disc back a little bit more. It's not like I changed my putting. I literally just bring my disc back a little bit more so I get a little bit more power on it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And it felt better.
So you're on the same line you were on before.
I think so. It might. I might have not.
It didn't look like dramatically different.
It did.
So.
It doesn't look different. It might not even. I might not
Because
even.
in
be
my
doing
head, you were going between your legs, and now you're going by your hip.
No, it's more so like to his left leg.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said to your side, and that really scared me.
It's to the side
Well,
of where
that's on
it
the side of my
was.
body, kind of.
Kind of.
I don't
See,
know.
that line scares me. I
It's
need you to
left
stand
of
up and
s-
show
Okay,
me.
I'll stand up and show
Because I
you.
just need to see it.
It's left of center, but it's not.
The description is making it sound like you're just throwing a backhand at the basket.
No,
Oh, it's because you're. I understand now.
because he's.
It's because your
standing-
left foot's behind your right foot. Where in my head, you're right. Which that's fine. I'm not saying to fix that. That was happening in my head. In my head, you were stagger stanced, and your disc to go to the left of your
I
left
gotcha.
leg is so far, but it's because
Gannon
you're
Burr does
left
that.
hand behind. Yeah, he spins. He
He's
just
also
spin putts.
slender man.
Yeah.
It just got the extra pop I needed.
I discovered this isn't really a swing thought. It's
That's
just
okay.
because I putt with bangers,
Yeah.
I have to spin it more.
Uh-huh.
So then when I putted with an EMAC judge the other day for that video, when I have a putter
putted
with,
really
when I have
well
a
with
putter
it,
with
even a
glide,
premium one.
When I have a putter with glide, it's just way easier to get a disc to the basket. Cause I just took power off and the disc was still just getting there because I just have so much more
Yeah,
spin. in my
you're
putt
getting
by
bangered
nature.
all year.
I was going through like my discs last night at my house to grab a few for one of our friends that hasn't played that much, and I picked up a Luna and I held that for like a second and I was like, don't touch this anymore. That's dangerous.
You liked it?
Because you pick up a
wanted it?
Luna, man, and you're like, this
Nothing wrong
thing
with
would just stay in the air for miles.
They do.
My
They
problem.
just are so glidey and it's so tempting. But I was like, you better put that down
See,
right
that's
now.
what's so weird is
I liked Luna.
the reason I went away from the McPro AVR, I don't think I ever got into the Luna phase
No.
because I
The
think I'd already
Luna-
learned my lesson.
Before the Wizard, the Luna was the longest I'd ever putted
because with the AVR, my problem was like the way I putt. I never like having a lot of spin on my putt. I always like a more just like pop
Yeah.
to get the only spin. And like without a bead, when I had a putter with that much glide, it just got bodied by the wind. Mm-hmm. Like for whatever
Yeah.
reason, like headwind
Yeah,
putts,
Lunas
they're
were
not good
they're
wind
not
putters,
good.
yeah.
yeah. But then so what was weird is that's why I loved the PA3 is it didn't have that much glide, it felt like.
Yeah.
But it was still comfortable. It didn't get bodied by the wind. So I always just associated I don't like putters with glide. But apparently now that I've putted with the banger, the PA3 might as well be a Big Z Luna from back in the day. That thing must have the most glide in the world. I don't understand how the banger has so little glide.
Well, you got 9 more months to go,
the
man.
shape of the flight plate has to be it. It's got to
Yeah,
be
I
it.
would imagine it's probably that.
But
I
it's
mean,
just
think about what the
dense.
wind is doing or the air is doing on that.
Yeah,
I just
think
always
about
was
it.
in the I was always in the belief that every disc putt's the same within 30 feet. Like sure you'll have like a little glide discrepancy. I don't know if I believe that anymore. I don't think I do.
It's big.
Now that I've putted with bangers.
It's big.
Now that I'm gonna keep putting with bangers.
I've been playing with Wizards for
I
like
am
a
willing.
long
I
time
love
now.
bangers. First
Yeah?
off,
No,
love
you
them.
don't.
Absolutely love them.
You like
Best
the way
putter
they
on the face
feel.
of the
You
earth.
like the way they feel.
No, I love them. I love everything
Okay.
about them.
Okay.
Just to preface. But I am willing to put a punishment on the line where like I have to switch putters.
Oh, that
24-hour
sucks.
The rest of the
Minecraft
year.
stream.
Yeah, that would suck.
24-hour Minecraft
That
stream.
should be going forward because we're gonna do this every year, right?
You should have to have a way to earn it.
You should have a way to earn your way out. Like there should be a
I don't want to win.
punishment.
The problem is you.
No,
put
like
that
it's
in
gotta
your
suck.
bracket.
Like it has to suck.
No. I'm just saying, like, I put.
Yeah, because I'm a man of the people.
No, you decided your putter.
I had the dart in there.
because you wanted, you were actually interested in doing it.
I was interested in the dart.
I'm just saying,
sure,
like,
but
wow,
I'm a man.
completely different life if you're putting.
I let people vote on my putters, but I've always said I choose those.
Rig it.
I choose it. Whatever you want to call it. I never claimed this was democracy. It is a dictatorship. I choose the 16 putters or however many I do, and then everybody votes from there. And from that point on, after they're chosen, it's whatever gets voted for. But I'm never going to put a putter in that I'm not going to be happy with putting for a year. Because that's most of the shots I'm going to throw for a whole year in my disc golf bag. I don't want to not have fun.
I'm not miserable. But I do think I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to have like when you putted with steadies, you got real sick of them.
No.
Yes.
But like more ironically,
Konner, come on.
I was sick of them because I was bored of them, but there was not a problem with that putter.
No, but you were sick of them.
Because I got bored.
Except they would fly on hyzer but never go left.
Like,
I got bored of them, but I knew it was never an issue with the putter.
But I'm just saying, like, imagine if
that was
there
your worst putting. That was the worst you've ever putted.
There was a way out. Like if you had a 48-hour stream or something,
I'll never take it. I'll never take it out.
But it would just be funny to like just have it. Because like
you can do it. It sounds like you want a way out. I don't want a way out.
It wouldn't work for this year because it has to be before, so everyone knows what they're agreeing to.
I'm
in a bonding agreement with my
audience. I will
audience.
never write a way out clause into my putter contract ever.
I might. I think it'd be funny to have like a like, and you would have to suck.
It would have to be a putting.
Like suck.
It could be like a putting.
If it sucks that bad though, like you got to think like if this year, because like admittedly this year is a year that you would consider it. Well, then if this isn't, then you never would because this is probably the worst putter you would ever
what if I put the koi on there next year?
You're not gonna do that though because then you basically just.
Are you gonna put the koi on there?
I might have to now because he told me I'll never do it.
Yeah, okay, you'll also never jump off a bridge. Like, are you going to do that now?
Trevor, that's rude.
If you put a koi,
I already jumped off a bridge.
Yeah, there's places to jump off bridges into water.
Yeah, Trevor, silly.
If there's but if you put a koi on, then that's the type of year I'd write the out clause because then it's like, well, 3 months in if it sucks really bad, like a 48-hour stream away.
You have to make
102 weeks.
You have to make like a certain amount of putts in a row with that disc.
Oh. Maybe next year I'll do it. I'll put like I was thinking more just like sucks like a 48-hour stream of any type would suck.
This is how he's doing it. You guys both have your ways of rigging it, and that's okay.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like if you
I'm willing to admit mine was rigged.
If you put the koi,
Trevor did just say that he rigged it. He
didn't say he rigged it.
He did.
I rigged the selection.
Thank you. That's all I've ever wanted.
I've said that multiple times. I do not rig the voting, but I rigged the selection.
Yeah, I've only ever claimed your bracket was rigged. That's all I've ever claimed. Okay. That's all I've ever claimed.
Yeah, I'm sure. So let's rewind 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was rigged. The banger is not bad enough because I think I can adjust my putting.
Never.
I think I can adjust my putting to make the banger work.
Why haven't you done it yet?
I have. My spin putts, my step putts back.
The nice thing is, you just got to bring back that spinniness and know you're not going to have that much of a comeback.
The banger, like I'm not miserable playing disc golf by any means yet.
Have you tried reaching to your side?
I have not tried reaching to my side, but I do think it'd be funny just to have because Robbie C, let's just call it what it was. He just was putting with Lunas all year and then out of nowhere just quit on it. Like I feel like everyone should have understood this is your only way out. Like if you get to a certain point and for whatever reason you want out.
What are you even proposing?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We should have like some type of like this. It has to be like because it can't be just you have to make 1,000 putts because it's like, okay, give me 5 hours and I can switch putters. It's got to be like.
No, it's got to be torturous.
I think it's got to be like a 48-hour live stream.
That's a long live
I would never do that. I would never do that.
That's what I'm saying.
I could be putting with bowling balls and I still wouldn't do a 40-hour live stream. Like I would just suffer through it.
Yeah.
Because that's terrible.
But I just think 24 is not enough.
24-hour. I would not do a 20. Like there is not a putter that I would ever even have the idea of using that would force
live
me to
stream.
Well, I'm just like 24 wouldn't take much for me to do it. Just because it's one day and it's done. Like yeah, it sucks, but like one day it's done.
Yeah. Well, 48, 2 days and it's done. Let's go to 72.
But that's brutal though. Like 2 straight days.
That is very.
I
agree with you. I don't think any of us is saying that's not tough.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is like I just feel like 24 is too easy for someone who's miserable putting. Like it's not easy, but it's too easy for someone who's
knows
miserable.
He's miserable putting right now.
No, like 24 I would have done in February. 48 I wouldn't have. Like 48 I'll make it all year.
Yeah.
36.
It
Maybe
depends.
36
It
is
depends
a
on
sweet
what you're
line.
doing. It depends on what you're doing. If what you're doing is like what Trevor was
think you can
doing, where it
choose.
was like you have to sit and do the same thing
No, I
for
think
hours
I
and
think
hours,
you can
that's
choose
miserable.
one thing, but you get to choose what that one thing is.
Sleep.
It can't be sleep.
Lying
Like you have
in
to
bed.
do something to entertain.
Okay, but you have to stay asleep. Every time you wake
That's
up, it restarts.
fair. If you sleep, you have to.
we
you
have
to stay
we
asleep.
have a sleep machine
Dude,
on you.
what's like the longest anybody's ever had their eyes closed?
I slept for 24 hours when I had mono.
Hunter wins.
Is that possible?
It happened. No,
That
I don't
explains
know.
a lot.
You missed a whole day.
Yeah, because I woke up and thought I was like, man, it felt like I was asleep for a lot longer than like 15 minutes.
That day was awesome.
And I walked
too. I'm
downstairs.
sorry
My
you
mom
missed
was
it.
like, "Hey, are you okay? How you feeling?" I was like, "Kind of better." I was like,
She's
"I
like, I
can't believe I
haven't
was
seen
only
you in
asleep for
3
like
years."
I was like, "Can't believe I was only asleep for a little bit." She's like, "No, you laid down yesterday at like 10 a.m." I was like, "But it's like 10:30." She's like, "Yeah, this is the next day." I was like, "Wait, what? The frick?"
That is a crazy
That's
experience.
hilarious.
Well, I had mono. Like mono, you're
Wow.
just exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
If you had mono, that's just a normal thing.
I did. Mono was.
Never had it.
It was.
you
Yeah, it was
just
that- it
don't
was
like the
bad.
whole sickness is you don't have energy.
Well, I couldn't sleep because
your
it was
kidneys
like
hurt.
someone was taking an ice pick to the back of my throat.
That's also can happen too.
Yes.
Whenever I had mono, I went to the doctor and they're like, "Well, we're really surprised that you haven't come in earlier because it actually looks like you're just on the end of having mono." And I was like,
Looks
"Oh,
like you're
really?
dying."
It hasn't been that bad." Oh, I went in because I got hives. Hives covered my body, and I was like, "This is weird," and I almost passed out. And then I went to the hospital, and they're like, "Yeah, it turns out you have mono." And I was like, "That's weird. Why do I have hives?" And they're like, "Sometimes your body just reacts to it that way." They're like, "But you're on like the end of it, so we're just gonna give you like 4 days worth of prednisone because that's what they give you to treat you for mono is a steroid." So I was huge, and but I took like the 4 days of it. Turns out I was just at the beginning of it. So then I had 2 weeks more of mono that I just didn't take any medicine for. So it's just I was like an ice pick down my throat.
Yeah, I missed a month of school from
It was
mono.
awful.
Like mono just lasts forever.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I haven't had it.
Hopefully you don't get it. Don't go kissing people you don't know.
Yeah,
don't
don't
kiss
go
anybody.
to elementary school water fountains.
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
drank after my brother,
I don't
so
kiss
people
anybody.
always joked with me because like my brother had mono, and we didn't know yet,
Yeah.
and then I drank after him, and then I got mono, and so people are always like, "Oh, you got mono from your brother?"
Yeah. Whenever you tell people that you have mono, they treat it like
They look
it
at you
is
different, for sure.
it's a bad disease.
Kissing disease.
Yeah.
Like they're like, "Oh, well, you must be really sleazy." You're like,
Yeah.
"No, I probably just drank out of a water fountain."
I got it when I was in 9th grade, and I was like, "No, I just drank after my brother. That's
Same
it."
with pink eye.
I got it
feel
whenever I
people
was a
give you
sophomore, I
similar
think.
look if you get pink eye.
Oh, who are you letting fart on your eyes?
Yeah. To wrap the show up, Nikko Castro had an announcement from posted this on Facebook where so he said first run prototype lavender blend seeds will be available tonight at USWDGC Fly Mart. This is something that's been in the works for a while, and I'm happy to share our vision with the disc golf community. A portion of these sales from the first lavender-infused disc golf discs will go directly towards supporting the growth of women's disc golf. Starting this weekend, I'll be paying the first person who misses cash in FPO due to playing against transgender. He didn't put a transgender, just transgender.
Interesting.
This is, well, I guess maybe because, no, there's no way in English that
It's
makes
not
sense.
grammatically
Anyways,
correct.
this is something that I feel strongly about when it comes to sports and would love to stand behind in all fairness with sacred discs. I've been competing in disc golf events for most of my life. Beyond being a competitor, I've always wanted to find a way to give back to the sport that has given me a lifetime of memories and opportunity to grow. I appreciate all the people who've supported my journey on and off the course. The first run of 500 lavender-infused discs are a testament to my dedication to this sport. The sweet floral aroma of lavender has been widely known to help with mood, anxiety, and its ability to help calm the nervous system. Since ancient
true.
times,
Such
lavender
oils.
has been used as a holy herb for its medical and therapeutic benefits. So, obviously, the big storyline out of this is that Nikko is kind of putting his money where his mouth is. And if you buy some of these lavender-infused discs, a portion's going straight to, I would assume, all year. Because he like says first run and then said this first run of 500 are a testament to my dedication to the sport. But I think all of the lavender discs throughout the year, a portion of that will be going to paying the first person who misses cash in FPO due to a transgender woman cashing an FPO.
Okay. I was trying to think about how that was going to work.
So I would assume like Natalie Ryan, obviously, if she cashes in
Which
FPO,
has happened, I think, in every event.
it just happened at US Women's, yeah. Then a portion of these sacred discs are going towards paying whoever was the first to miss cash. So obviously this has been met with pushback from one side, a lot of support from the other side.
I mean, you want to talk about like just absolutely putting it out there. Like,
I think probably a storyline in a little bit will be somebody refusing the money.
Yeah, no, it might be. It could be
oh,
interesting.
yeah, good point. Good
well,
point.
I don't know
That'll
if
be interesting.
It'll be interesting if that ever becomes a storyline. Like if anyone says it.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would be really curious to know, like, is Sacred Disc going to get a huge bump in sales, or are they going to get rocks thrown through their window, or both?
Well, typically when you do something this polarizing, right?
And Sacred Disc is
they're Lone Star.
Is with Lone Star, and Lone Star
Star's going through it.
Really been putting themselves out there.
Yeah, but typically when you do something this polarizing, because like Nikko, the tough part is like Nikko has been polarizing with both sides of this topic, like not because of just everyone agrees that what he did at like European Open wasn't cool. Like that wasn't like which side of the argument are you on? That was just like this ain't cool. He's been on the mend obviously, but this is like his first sales or brand type stance that is like a line in the sand. Half people are going to agree with him, half are going to disagree. And so typically when you draw a line in the sand like that, the people who agree become like diehard lifelong fans, and the people who disagree a lot of times become your press in a lot of ways, because they're just talking about how awful this is and how much it disagrees, which then riles up the people who agree with it to be like, oh, this is freaking sick. And then, so it won't hurt the sales of Sacred Disc, I think, overall, because they weren't that popular to begin with. So
it definitely stirred things up again, because I feel like after the kind of conclusion that like the Pro Tour and the PDGA were going to stop fighting it, they had run out of money, like everything. I'm sure there's still a lot of tension out there in the field.
I'm sure.
I'm sure there is, but at least, there's still some tension in like social media as well, but it's been less elevated. Everybody's kind of, because there's been less updates or people like putting things out there, but this has been the first thing to like really go back out there in a while now. And I mean, pretty polarizing stuff. It's going to be interesting to see, because like right now, the NCAA is getting sued like crazy hard by a bunch of athletes that lost to the transgender swimmer, and I wonder if there's any legal precedent in that case that'll have anything to do with disc golf. I haven't looked into it enough, but
who knows?
Because I know that's what kind of the Pro Tour and PDGA, or at least the Pro Tour was kind of, I feel like, in that stance of like they were just going to wait and see what happened with other sports cases and follow suit. So
yeah. But it'll definitely be interesting to see. It's more so like, is Nikko going to be posting about every time he does it? Is it like, or is it just
that will be an interesting, like Konner makes a good point. Like, are there going to be FPO players that are like, I happily turned down this money, or are there going to be some that like, it was so awesome to have this money from Sacred Disc because my spot was taken? Like, what kind of like follow up things, if anything?
Yeah,
or will they not sell any? And I bet they will, but will they not sell any? And like, there's not really that much money anyways, so it's like.
Yeah, it'll be.
Although, what does it cost to pay out last cash?
Let's look at last cash.
Like
women's
$35.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if it's plus ties. But
at the end of the day,
it should be like $200 or so.
At the end of the day,
last cash is $200.
Whoa! Let's not point fingers yet.
I'm gonna say like 80, 75.
Any guesses?
80. I would say $75.
I'm gonna say 200.
Well, where are we going? Let's go to a normal Pro Tour. Go to Open at Austin.
Okay. Well, if we're going to Open at Austin, I'm gonna go 100.
I'm gonna say $75 or $80. So
at the end of the day, like
Open at Austin was $235.
Last cash?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a 3-way tie. So I don't know if that helps or hurts, because it depends on what they were 3-way tie for. Let's go to Waco.
I guess I don't really pay attention to that.
Waco last cash was $200.
Okay. Well, so that's a significant contribution then to pay out a last cash.
U.S. women's last cash was $500.
Wow. Okay. So it's
it
is a significant amount of money.
That's like $200. So I mean, he's gonna have to move some discs.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you I see how like people could view what he's doing as like disrespectful. I see that, but also at the end of the day, it's a non-violent way for him to like support the FPO in the way that he feels like it should be.
It is true, because he's not stealing money from anybody.
He's not taking any money. He's not rioting or anything.
True. I do. Yeah. I
It's a non-violent way for him to like show how he feels about it.
Yeah.
But I see how people could like would.
He's
view it
not
as
selling
disrespectful,
T-shirts that say transgenders don't belong in women's sports.
Yeah.
Or like like blah 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 blah.
He's
like,
just selling stock discs and then putting his. That's what he's putting his money where his mouth is.
That is fair
He's standing
point.
up for what he believes in a quiet and respectful way. I guess
I would say it's.
I was going to say is it respectful, but yeah, there's nothing that he didn't point fingers at anyone. He didn't call
use
anyone
any
out.
hurtful language.
No, he just said this is what I feel, so I'm gonna do what I think's right.
Yeah.
So
Is
you know
Nikko
what?
reformed?
In that way, good for Nico.
Yeah. I think that's
All right, Silas selects. It's time.
Sacred disc. The pressure, the tension just rises in the room.
It does.
Just
It
instantly
really
rises.
does, doesn't it?
I've seen a lot of people complaining about this segment. I'm
Why?
sorry, your complaints are not going to be heard because we love it.
Why are they
It's electric.
Why are they complaining
Because
about
they think it's dumb. They think
it takes 5 seconds.
they think it's dumb that we're not like feeling the disc. But
No,
if we felt the disc, it's too easy.
Guys, the point of it
Too
is to
easy.
be the point of it is to be a lottery pick. The point is that if you guess it, it was so lucky like that it's an
It's a
an
stupid
electric
segment,
moment.
but it's supposed to be a stupid
yeah,
segment.
Yeah.
it's meant to be like the show's
like, if we were-
ending.
if
We're
we
already
were-
talking about too much right now.
Yeah.
Just open the box. Well, everybody guess. We
That
can't even-
being said,
if we have to explain it, it's already too much.
I want the end of a J. I want the J.
I like that.
Give me
I
the
want
J.
Konner. I like that.
Oh,
thing.
give me the J. Silas, is it the J?
I want the Clash Mint.
I was
Oh,
gonna
that's
choose a
good too.
Clash disc.
Too
That's
bad.
crazy.
You can.
You can still.
I'm actually.
You can
gonna
choose the same one.
I'm gonna
if you
choose a
want.
judge.
a judge.
I don't feel,
come on.
It's not a judge. I don't feel good about it.
Dang it.
Worship.
is it?
Warship.
I was
Flies like a
close.
J.
I was close.
Flies like a J.
That's
doesn't,
you know
bro.
what?
It's
That's really
flippier
interesting
than
because
J.
I was getting
flippier.
I was
Nothing
getting
like
like a mid-range image. Like I was
You were-
feeling a
you were feeling
mid-range. Yeah,
mid-range.
I was feeling
Well,
that.
so was Hunt.
And I wish I had gone with
The
it.
day one of us hits this.
But I'm saying, you get it now,
Oh.
people.
Dang it. All right. We'll see you back on one of the days this week for the preview show of the Texas State's Disc Golf Championship. See you then.